Hello everyone, welcome to another daily video. And as I said yesterday, after or whilst being sick, I still want to kind of get back into putting in the reps. And today I want to talk a little bit about the urge to comment because I posted I'm not okay. Let's start this differently. I'm not going to say which video it was, but I also not only saw it on my channel, but also on a couple of channels. And I found it so funny because this is about the urge of some people to comment um, without having watched a video completely and without kind of fully grasping what the video or the person that is making the video is talking about. And I find it so weird that this urge to kind of voice your opinion in a enraged way is so strong that you don't even let the other person finish. And it's so funny because I just watched this video and I just checked whilst watching the video. I just scrolled down the comment section and there was this one person who was totally um, up in arms about one thing that was being said in the video. And this video was only up for 15 minutes and the creator of that video replied, dude, obviously you didn't watch it to the end because A, the video's 30 minutes long. I published 15 minutes ago. You commented 10 minutes after the video was published saying, oh, why didn't you cover this and that and whatever? And he replied, yeah, you didn't finish the video because obviously you didn't watch the 30 minutes because you commented 10 minutes after I published the video. So, and I had a similar thing where this one person commented on one of the videos here on my second channel, being totally enraged. No, that's not fair. That person was a little bit, yeah, I don't know if that person was really angry, but that person kind of called me out being something that I'm clearly am not. And then I kind of commented back and I was like, why do you assume this? Didn't you I I was what I was talking about in this video was completely related to something else. So why are you assuming that I'm this and that? And the person said, yeah, because of the title, because you said this and that. Yeah, but I I was commenting on something completely different than what you are accusing me of. And then that commenter said, "Oh yeah, you just wrote that title. I didn't watch the video, or should have watched the video," was the reply. And I'm like, then why are you kind of in air quotes attacking me and kind of saying, "Oh, you are this and that," and I'm trying to be vague because I'm not. I don't want to kind of say which video it was because I think that person wasn't wrong, and I don't want anyone to go there and kind of defend me or whatever. Um, and again, that person, and like I always say in my videos, I'm totally okay with other opinions as long as it is constructive, as long as it is polite, because I accept every opinion. If it's being in a rude way, I'm calling you out on that, but I never delete a comment. I always leave it up there. And I feel so, I was so taken aback because that person called me something, and I was like, why is that person thinking that? Why is that person putting me in that category? Until I realized, or until that person admitted that that person didn't watch the video. So I'm I'm really weirded out by this kind of urge, and I'm calling everyone out because um, I feel like it is something that is inside everyone's person and in humanity and humans itself, everyone wants to voice their opinion. But I feel like some people are able to kind of control, in air quotes, control it, and before blurting it out, kind of reflect on the situation, try to kind of consider every angle, and then they start blurping out their opinion. But other people don't have that, in air quotes, control, and just blurb out their opinion without kind of thinking about what they're saying or considering um, what has been said, and trying to look at whatever has been said without all of the emotions that kind of has been ignited. But more importantly, as I've just kind of made the example in my case, but also in the video that I just watched, is some people just don't have the patience to just wait, in air quotes, their turn. They don't let other people finish their train of thought and then just blurt out their opinion. Oh, you're wrong because this and that and that. And the other person is like, yeah, if you would have let me finish, I might have gotten to that point before you start like getting up all up in arms about it and getting all like heated. And I feel it is so weird, especially here on social media and on YouTube, that people are so um, impatient to kind of blurt out their opinion. And I'm all for, and this is something that I hopefully no one gets the wrong way. I'm all for um, freedom of speech and freedom of opinion. But I feel like it is every time we also, when we are speaking our opinion and are utilizing our freedom of speech, it doesn't kind of take away potential consequences. If you're voicing your opinion, you need to be aware that the other person has an opinion too. And it is totally okay to disagree. And we don't need to disagree. We don't need to agree as long as we are all respectful to each other. And um, just, and that is something that I sometimes feel like people totally misunderstand. Just because someone else is disagreeing with your opinion, it doesn't mean that we want to kind of shut their mouth and I don't know what the English expression is. We don't want to kind of bury their opinions, or the other person doesn't want to bury my opinion. I think it is totally okay that we all voice it, but we also need to be okay with that we can't always agree on stuff. And just because someone disagrees, it doesn't mean that your opinion is without value. And I feel like many people kind of misunderstand that. Just because someone doesn't agree with you, it doesn't mean that your opinion isn't valued or isn't of worth. And no one is taking away your freedom of speech. Um, oh, I was completely pivoted. No, it's still based on what I'm saying. Again, um, you all, or we all, can voice our opinions, but I think we should be very aware of the fact that we need to listen to the other person. That is also something that I noticed. People aren't listening anymore. They are just waiting to for their turn to speak. Um, and that is definitely something that I had to learn as well when I grew up, and especially when I don't like to argue with people. Um, because I always had the issue that people didn't want to listen to me because my German wasn't that great and I was always the shortest. And when I was a kid, people definitely didn't want to listen to what I ever had to say. So I always felt at a disadvantage, which is why I didn't like to argue. But also where I kind of noticed that people just didn't want to wait their turn. Um, and let me finish what I'm saying. So at some point, I pivoted, and also my mechanism was okay. I suddenly also didn't listen. and just waited for my turn, or not my turn, but my opportunity to find a space in that argument to say whatever I wanted to say. So I had to learn that as well, that it's not about waiting for your turn to say something, but it's more about listening, trying to comprehend what the other person wants to communicate, then evaluating how my whatever I'm about to say is kind of working or fitting, or is fitting. I don't know what the right word is, but not fitting in terms of kind of molding your opinion to their opinion, but rather making it the dialogue and actually listening to whatever the person has to say, and then you can say your opinion, or whatever you have to contribute to that discussion. But I feel like nowadays it's not really the case. People just wait for the turn, and because they're waiting for the turn, they don't really listen. Or in the case of YouTube, people don't really watch the video to the end. Granted, 30-minute videos are sometimes too long to wait, but I mean, you can still comment, but you don't need to send it. Maybe comment while you're watching, watch to the end, and then evaluate what you commented, and then you can send it. But there's no point to send it right away before even letting the other person finish, you know? I don't have a real ending to this. Again, it's for me, it's like it is very important to let other people finish before I voice my opinion, and before I say whatever I want to say. Because, yeah, I think everyone has the right for their opinion and freedom of speech. So if I want freedom of speech, I need to be respectful to the other person and consider what that person is saying before I interrupt that person. Yeah, it's so weird. The comment section on YouTube. That's actually one of the reasons why I lately haven't been replying as frequently. Not because I get a lot of negative comments, but rather in terms of I want to not distance. I want to kind of refresh my brain a little bit and get away from all of the notifications. And yeah, that's basically the reason why I haven't looked at the comment section a lot, deleting the YouTube Studio app and stuff like that. Definitely helped me in terms of my mental health. Yeah, anyways, that was my short little talk about the comment section and opinions and stuff like that. I think the world would be a better place if we listen to each other a little bit more, and understanding that we don't need to agree. We only need to listen to each other, and giving each other space to kind of voice our opinions, and then also trying to understand where the other person is coming from. And I don't mean to condone, is that the word, or like the other person's opinion, but I think it's very helpful for everyone's growth if we kind of listen to each other and then kind of see, okay, where's that person coming from? Okay, this is why the person is thinking that way. I don't need to agree, but now I kind of understand where you're coming from. And I think that if we would think a little bit, or approach arguments from that perspective, we are more likely not to bump heads and clash. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, that was this short little vlog video about opinions. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. And yeah, maybe check out my vlog. Yesterday's vlog wasn't that impactful. Maybe the vlog from 2 days ago. Check it up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Maybe like and hype this video. That always helps. But also maybe subscribe to this channel. Help me to get to 2,000 subscribers anytime in the future by clicking the button up here. And then we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.